Seth Engle with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette here. Penn State just completed a 33-24 victory over Indiana. Wasn't that pretty at all. You know, there were times when it looked like maybe it could swing the other way in Indiana's favor. Penn State really struggled in what was supposed to be a redemption game after losing to Ohio State. It was a rough first half on both sides of the ball. You know, the offense continued to show some struggles and looked a little out of sync at times and didn't really have that rhythm that past Penn State offenses have kind of had in the past. And defense, which has really been the strong suit of this program this year, you know, struggled for what appeared to be the first time this year. You know, allowed 24 points, which was the most by this Penn State defense allowed this year. But the main story of the game was, you know, obviously Drew Allar at the end of the game. It was just above 5 minutes left to play. Drew threw an interception. It was the first of his career. It's actually an NCAA record for most completions without an interception thrown. And that kind of gave the ball to Indiana, who then kicked a field goal and tied the game up at 24. But, you know, 2-minute drill, Drew Allar comes back on the field and completes a 57-yard touchdown pass to KeAndre Lambert-Smith. It was a pass that people had kind of been waiting for this whole year. Was a big pass, you know, a big explosive play, but also doing it in crunch time and doing it when it really mattered. So Penn State ultimately came away with the win there. You know, I think another storyline this week is just battling back from Ohio State. You know, they took 6-7 days after that loss, and it's possible that maybe that loss was still on their mind a little bit and they weren't able to fully move on. James Franklin, after the press conference, you know, he's even considering moving our weekly press conference with him from Tuesday to Monday because he wants to just get the game off his mind and move away. So that's kind of what happened this week, maybe with Ohio State, and I don't know if it was on their mind a little too much. And Drew said that, you know, he was upset on Saturday. He, you know, reflected on Saturday and Sunday, and then when it came to practice on Monday, he had, you know, pretty much moved on. You know, he played pretty well, but it was the receivers still look a little out of sync. Harrison Trey Wallace, who's that number 2 guy in the receiving corps, he went down with an injury in the first quarter. We know he's been battling the injury bug for a couple parts of the season already, and he went down today. It looked like he rolled his shoulder, went to the locker room, came back, had a sling on his arm, and he was on the sideline for the rest of the game. So that's a receiving corps that's already, you know, lacking, you know, that superstar talent, and is now potentially down another receiver in that group. You know, also injuries. Chop Robinson was out today. He went down at Ohio State, was carted off the field. We're not sure exactly what that injury is, but, you know, it was bad enough to keep him out today. James Franklin does, you know, expect him to return. He told us this week. But in his place was denied Dennis Sutton, who, you know, also came in the clutch late with a safety on a fumble forced, which was late in the game, and that kind of solidified the victory for Penn State. Moving forward, question marks remain. You know, offense is not the strong suit whatsoever. You know, this has been a problem all year. It was no different today. When you're facing a team like Maryland, which has struggled the past couple weeks, you know, maybe that's another opportunity to figure some of those things out before it comes to Michigan week, which is, you know, that's going to be the big one in determining whether Penn State does make a debut in the college football playoff. I will say, though, you know, judging by today's performance against a struggling Indiana team, didn't look like a playoff team. So things to work on. Moving on, Maryland next week.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our Apple Podcast channel for more podcast content. Click below for a special deal of 99 cents for a 3-month subscription to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.